You've heard of Turbo Granny. You've likely even heard of Purple Granny. How about the granny who asks you for a spare limb? Or the granny that hops? Or the granny who likes to chew on bones? There are all sorts of grannies out there haunting every single dark corner of the country, it seems. And this week, we're going to look at yet another one. But this granny isn't likely to kill you. In fact, when you think about it, this one is actually kind of sad. This week, let's look at the 100 yen granny. Her tale is a simple one. It's nighttime. You're thirsty. You don't have any drinks on hand. What are you to do? Why, head out to the nearest vending machine, of course. Even where I lived in the most countryside of the countryside, I only had to walk about 200 meters downhill to find my nearest vending machine at night. They're always on, and they're always cheap. So, with 100 yen on hand, you set out to grab yourself a delicious drink. It's late, and it's dark. But when you get there, you notice a figure standing beside the machine. Upon closer inspection, it's an elderly woman. What on earth is she doing out this late at night? But as you approach the vending machine, she speaks up. "That's my 100 yen, isn't it?" she asks. Well, no. It's yours. And you tell her as much. But the old lady is insistent. That's her 100 yen coin. In fact, she's so persistent that it's a little creepy and weird. In the end, you tell her, "Yeah, sure," and hand her the coin. You're not so thirsty anymore, and you have more coins at home anyway. Whatever gets you away from this situation as quickly as possible. But then, just like that, the old woman disappears in front of your eyes. All she wanted was that 100 yen. Weird. Stories of the 100 yen granny have been around for quite some time now, with people around the country citing stories from their childhood in the 90s especially. It's unknown where this story first came into being, but considering how common she is, and the slight variations that exist, it's very possible she came about independently in various areas, due to, well, circumstances in society at the time. One of the most common legends states that she can be found close to a national highway in the Kansai area. When she was alive, the old woman was walking towards the nearby vending machine with 100 yen on hand, when she was sadly struck by a car at the crossing. The coin tumbled from her hand, and she was never able to get her drink. And so she hangs around that same spot in the afterlife, trying to get her coin back. But unlike many ghosts, when she does, she simply disappears, her desire fulfilled. A similar story from the Kanto region states that if you walk around late at night by yourself, you might suddenly hear a voice calling out, "Please give me 100 yen." Before long, an old woman appears. But unlike her Kansai counterpart, this one doesn't just hang around beside the vending machine. She'll keep following you until you relent and give her that precious coin. But then, just like her friend, she also disappears. This unfortunate old woman doesn't mean any harm. She just wants her 100 yen. That's it. You can also find minor variants where she asks for different amounts of money, such as 500 yen or even just 10 yen. There are also other versions where she starts at 100 yen, but if you keep refusing her, she'll bring her price down to 10 yen instead. Either way, once you hand her the money, she just disappears. She is perhaps one of the easiest ghosts to deal with. As long as you have some coins on hand, that is. It's possible the story of the 100 yen granny came about because of two factors. The burst of Japan's economic bubble in the early 90s, and of course, Japan's rapidly aging population. Crime rates amongst the elderly in Japan have continued rising since the 90s, and it said that over half the crimes committed by senior citizens are shoplifting. Women, in particular, are more likely to commit these offences, with some recent statistics stating that around 75% of elderly offenders are women. But why? Well, many simply don't have the money. They can no longer work. Pension money doesn't cover basic living expenses. And many may not have family to take care of them, or simply don't want to bother them with their problems. Many elderly people also live alone, without any help whatsoever. Combine all of this and it's not hard to see how a ghost might pop up, begging for 100 yen so she can finally get a drink. You can also find stories online of an actual woman, dubbed the 100 yen granny, who used to hang around Shibuya in the early 2010s, asking people for 100 yen. Nobody knew who she was, and she didn't appear to be homeless, but she was well known around the area for straight up asking anyone who passed by if they could give her 100 yen. It later came to light that she was from Osaka and didn't have any family members nearby, but she apparently wanted the money simply to use the bus. The bus cost 200 yen. In general, if you ever run across the ghostly version of the 100 yen granny, there's not really much to fear. Just give her the money and she'll be gone. She's more of a sad warning tale than anything else. A product of an aging society unsure of how to deal with its rapidly rising elderly population. But what did you guys think of this one? Do you have any similar stories where you're from? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again next time.